Why, hello there, folks. Welcome to another round of One Piece. My name is Dylan from Alternate Universes, and on the left we have Bobby Rob playing Captain Eustass Kid Control versus Nick P, also on Eustass Captain Kid Control. This was accidental. I was joking with them before the start of the round that last week, round 2, we had Kid versus Kid, and that this week we also had Kid versus Kid. I didn't know what either player was playing. I was like, these guys, they seem to know what they're doing. Let's go. Yeah, so hey, Kid Mirror, but that's okay. Sometimes you gotta put a control mirror on camera and talk about things, what plays are being made, and things are being done. So, let's talk about it. One Piece, the card game. This is our second week in a row of doing One Piece coverage. Again, brand new game. A lot of players showing up for it on our weekly Monday nights for the events. And yeah, I just wanted to, get some content done, put it out there, advertise the events a little bit, and then we'll get back to Magic in a couple weeks or so. Probably next week, if we're being honest with each other. But yeah, we had 40 players for this weekly event. 40. That's a lot of players, and we are pretty happy with that. Don't take my joking as a sign of sadness. I'm super hyped about 40 players. We had 42 last week. Also hype. We went down 2 players. It makes me sad. We have like a group of people who comes like every other week, so it makes sense.
5 in hand.
Alright, let's talk what this deck does. This deck is very effective at controlling the board. And eventually, just putting huge things on the board that can win the game. Specifically the 8-drop Captain Kid card. So when it is tapped or rested and has a Don attached to it, during your opponent's turn, the only thing that they can attack is character cards named Eustass Kid. So they cannot attack your opponent's leader. They cannot attack your tapped Rizos or Joy Bonnies. They must attack Captain Kid, the creature. Now, if you have 2 different tapped creature Captain Kids, you can attack into that, the other one. You don't have to specifically attack the 8-drop. However, typically the only kid that you will be able to attack is the 8-drop because that's the only thing they're going to have. They might have the 7-drop in play, but the 7-drop will more than likely be untapped as it is a blocker. And yeah, that card can really slow the pace of the game down and allow Kid to just take over the game. The deck is very good at gaining incremental value through cards like Rizo, Joy Bonnie, Momo. I'm just gonna call him Momo. I don't actually know I don't know his name. He's the bald guy, the kid. He looks like Krillin. Bonnie and him both have an activated ability that allows you to tap them and then look at the top 5 cards of your deck and add something to hand. Rizo, when it attacks, if there's another tapped card besides him, you can draw a card. So again, deck is very good at picking up advantage and maintaining it. And the Kid Leader is phenomenal at closing on the game. If you activate, or if you pay 3 Don for 3 mana, you can untap the leader. So a very common play pattern you'll see towards the end of the game is just once your board is full, you'll put 5 or 6 Don onto the Kid Leader, swing in for a big number, and then pay 3 mana, discard a card, untap the dude, and attack again. Very good at closing out the game. Kid plays a lot of blockers, so it can just kind of like stabilize with those. It's kind of, I won't say oppressive, but it is a very strong deck in the format. In my opinion, I think it is the best deck in the format, though I know people will disagree with that, and I think that's okay. I think the format's actually pretty healthy. There's a lot of good variants out there. There's like 5 or 6 decks that are pretty strong, and then a couple that are a little bit weaker, but that's okay. Bobby has a Shachi on the board as a 3-drop blocker, 4K, and when it comes into play, if you have a Penguin in your hand, you can play it. Unfortunately, I don't know anybody who plays Penguin. Maybe Bobby does. I hope so. I'd much rather play Penguin over Shachi. And that's just because I love Penguins. If Penguin was the 3-drop 4K blocker, I would play that one. But unfortunately, the stat line on Shachi is much better than Penguin's. Yeah, the deck does a lot of board control through cards like that. Basil Hawkins, fantastic card. When it has a Don attached to it, once per turn during your opponent, or once per turn while it is attacking a creature, it untaps. Very good effect. Yes, it uses cards like the 2-drop Cat Viper or Neko Manushi, and the 3-drop Ezo to on play tap down a creature. Another card that's very good at that is the 3-drop 5K Okiku. That one has a Don attached to it. When it attacks, you may tap down one of your opponent's 5 or less creatures. Very good for dealing with blockers. That is an attack trigger. 5-drop Law coming down here. Law's going to pick up a card and put a 3-drop or less into play. We just kind of skipped the part about picking something up, so we're just going to pick up the 1-drop blocker. I think Nick was just getting a little nervous playing on camera. That's okay. He's going to pay 1 Don, play the blocker again. Going to swing in 6K here at the Shachi.
How did you wait, how much
A little bit of a discussion about how much Don Nick has in total.
Oh, you're right.
Nick should have 7. That is the correct amount of Don.
I'm going 6 at Chachi.
6 at Chachi.
Or he should have 8. He's went first. Whatever it is, it's the correct amount of Don. Alright, no good attack here for Basil. And one thing Nick will be able to do here is if he gets to untap with that Okiku, he can attach a Don to Okiku, swing into life, tap down Basil. And then if Nick wants to get rid of the Basil, he can just throw a crap ton of Don onto the kid leader and then swing it into Basil.
I'll go 5 in the leader.
Going to swing 5K into life. Nick's just going to take it immediately, going down to 4. Bobby's life is slightly off camera. That's okay. We know he's at 3 because that's 3 in the top left-ish corner. Well, to the left of the time clock.
2 active.
Now let me do a little bit of an ad read for you folks, as I believe this is the last video I can post that'll post in time before the event happens. But Saturday, January 15th, a day after this video gets uploaded, we're having a one-piece 1K at Alternate Universe's Bluebell location. This will be the first 1K of the year and our very first one-piece bigger style event. If you're interested in playing, registration will begin at 11, play will begin at noon, and entry will be $30 in cash or card, and then $35 if you're paying in store credit. First place will get $400 in store credit. The rest of the top 8 will break down the remainder of $600 in store credit, depending on your placement. I think it's $200 a second, and then $400 gets broken down between the remaining spots. But I could be wrong. You can fact check me at alternateu.com, where you can see some more details. This will consist of 35-minute best of 1 rounds, and then top 8 will be best of 3 untimed. No sideboarding, because there's no sideboarding in One Piece, but hey. Hey, okay, here's a 2-drop killer on the board. Very, very good card. One of my favorite cards actually in the deck. When it has a Don attached to it, when it blocks, if you have 3 or more creatures on the board, you get to draw cards.
How many Don are active?
5. I only put 1 on, so 7 Don active.
7 active.
Yep, I only put 1 on. This one's not active, sorry. 7 active.
Bobby's hand is a lot of doubles. I see 2 Punk Gibsons, 2 killers, 2 of the other killer.
Yeah, all top 2, Punk Gibson, Breast 12.
Right, speaking of Punk Gibson, 2-drop event card, going to give plus 4K to whatever card is being attacked, and then gets to tap down a 4 or less creature on Nick's board. Going to slap some Don here onto the 6-drop Law. Not something you commonly see here, is that Law attacking this early on in the game. It does get used pretty often in the final kill turn that Kid has. but smacks into Okiku. Okiku dies.
5 at lead.
Going to attack 5k at the leader. Apologize for the yawn. I did not finish my coffee. It was a little weird tasting. Wasn't crazy about it.
Yeah, sure.
But we're going to take it going from 3 to 2.
Play Law to untap.
Plays a 5-drop Law from the starter deck. Gets to untap a Supernova card. Untaps that Blocker Law. And passes the turn.
Seven with lock-ins into Okiku.
Right, Basil attacking in. Basil will get to untap here as it has battled a creature.
Yeah, he gets to have that.
Right, because we're putting a Don here on Kid. Going to attack 6k in. Now this is a pretty good attack. This makes sense of attaching the Don here. That way if Nick wants to block with the Law blocker, which he seems to be thinking about doing, if he wants to protect the Law, he must discard a card from his hand. He has a Shachi, 2 killers in hand, a Pug Gibson, a 8-drop Kid, and a Beige, it looks like. This one's a 2-drop killer blocker. So I think we're going to go see double Don placed on both of those.
I'll go 8k. I'll swing at leader.
A second Don placed on Basil. Going to attack in for 8k here. Nick going to take it, go to 3. Picks up a 2-drop Cat Viper. That Don returns to the Don pile. The Don stack. The mana pool? Eight mana here. Gonna play a 8-drop Captain Kid.
Put 1 on and rest him. Play Sachi.
Sure.
Uses the activate main of the Kid here to put a 3-drop or less into play, and then attaches Don to it, so it has its
6 at lead.
trigger during the opponent's turn.
Block with killer.
Not trigger, but
6 at Hawkins.
6 had Hawkins. I will counter.
okay. I was like, we attacked with something.
We'll pass that.
What we attacked with? But there we go. Ah, swing into Basil. Okay. Bunch of Don here. Likely course of action is going to be throwing 2 Don onto Basil and attacking into Captain Kidd. Lack of coffee. It's getting to me. I'll have to make another cup of a different blend. Unfortunately, was I made a pot of coffee. That first cup just wasn't good. So I imagine the rest of the pot is not too good.
How many in hand?
5.
Okay. 8 Don. Bobby looking to play his own kid here.
Copycat.
Tap to play Shachi.
I'm going to tap it. Play Shachi out here.
Pass there. No active Dawn on him? Okay, so I don't have to attack him.
Passes the turn. Does not put a Don on the kid for the ability. Holding up mana instead for interaction. Makes sense. I mean, it's probably the only thing that will get attacked anyways. Plus 3 blockers on board. The kid will probably be okay. I wonder if there's an argument for Nick to just try and kill Bobby. But
How many cards in hand? 4. Doing a 7
I
drop.
don't know.
For this
Yeah,
kid.
there's a 7-drop kid blocker coming down. This one, if it has a Don attached to it at the end of your turn, it will untap.
Him.
No point really in putting a Don on it right now, as it doesn't have haste.
No, I did not. Thank you.
I think giving that a read and realizing how that worked.
Yes, we will go.
Just gonna put the Don on the leader instead. Oh, puts it on the wall. Okay. Gonna bump him to 8k.
We're going to go 5 at lead.
It's gonna go 5 at life.
Oh, I should not focus here. Sorry. 5 at lead.
Now this is going to allow Bobby to have a pretty big turn, as long as that kid survives.
I know, but you're like attached already.
Oh, I apologize. That's my bad.
Like if you like put it on and then you said.
Yeah, no, I made his movement. That's on me. It's all good.
A little bit of discussion about Don placement.
Wasn't counting.
I'll counter.
Okay. Bobby got a combo counter 2k out of the attack.
8 at kid. This kid.
Yep.
Shotgun 8k into the kid.
Cone.
Beige is going to block it. Or Biggie, or Commissioner Gordon, as we refer to it affectionately in the shop among coworkers.
We'll go
Because only one of us knows One Piece.
kid again.
Alright, so we get 9k in here.
Go to Punk Gibson.
Going to Punk Gibson, tapped on the Shachi.
We'll pass that.
The camera's slightly tilted and it's making me so sad.
Four on Hawkins.
We're loading the Basil up to 10k. Gonna swing at the
10 at kid.
Yep.
Captain Kid here. Will almost immediately eat a blocker.
11.
Discards 2 cards, goes to 11. Basil does get to untap.
I'll go 10k a kid.
And swing it again.
10K kid again. Block with all.
Yep.
Eats a blocker.
10k at kid.
There's 10k onto the kid. Putting 10 to the 8.
How many Octodon do you have?
Probably also eating a blocker.
Kid.
And probably wants to. He could just throw. He might hold up the interaction. Is there a Punk Gibson in his hand again? So he could just throw 4 Dawn onto the kid here. Swing and try and kill the E-Trap. Or he could put 3 on there, swing, get another card out of Nick's hand, and then put a Dawn on the killer.
1 on killer. 2 play killer. Attach.
Just plays another killer and attaches a Dawn to it. Also a pretty good play.
Draw.
Bobby not in, immediate need of killing the kid. More than likely just kill it on the next turn anyways. Bobby has 3k combo in his hand. And 3 blockers. 2 which will draw a card.
I'm gonna 7-drop again.
Sure.
Another kid.
We'll play 7-drop kid blocker again.
Put 1 on this kid.
So we go 1 Dawn on Eustass.
Attack 9.
Eustass is going to have to attack into Eustass.
You have to attack the
Oh,
kid.
and kid. 9 and kid.
Top of.
And do combo with 2k.
We're gonna keep 2 active, and we'll pass there.
Sure.
Picks up another 8-drop kid. Not exactly the best top deck here, as he's more than likely not going to play it, but we'll see.
Hawkins 10 at the kid.
Probably the same exact play line.
10 at the kid.
Yep.
Attack in for a big number.
Tap 1. Play
Into
Paradise.
Paradise Waterfall
11.
and
And
combo
we're
a
gonna
Momo to
set
keep it alive. Choosing, I think, to not untap the Captain Kid.
Okay. Hawkins restand. The 1 in hand.
But it would have to make Bobby attack into you, and you could try and recoup your hand.
Go Hawkins into kid. 10k.
Easy swings again. More than likely seeing a blocker. Oh, just lets it die. Okay. I think at this point, if I'm Bobby, I'm just going to start turning stuff sideways at you.
9k at life.
Take 1.
9k. Gonna take it. Go to 2. Like you've put together a fair amount of tempo.
Go 7k at life.
7k attacking here at lead. And it goes from 2 to 1. Gonna load Dawn onto both of the killers. And it's just gonna pass the turn.
How many cards in hand?
2.
One active Dawn.
1 active Dawn.
Nick seemingly doing some math here about what he wants to attach where and what he needs to keep to play things, it looks like. It's going to go 3 down onto each of Kid and Law.
So I was doing math in my head.
Yep.
That's not right.
Okay, goes 2 onto Kid, 4 on the Law? 2 on the Law? 3 onto Leader. Okay, that one makes more sense.
8 at kids.
Going to swing 8k into 8k here. And discard a card. Going to swing 9k. Ooh. Going 8k in first.
Killer.
Going to block and draw a card. Does pick up a 2k combo, which is pretty good.
9 at kid.
Going to swing 9k into 8k.
Killer draw.
So a 5-drop Law. Not the greatest pickup here.
Tap 3. Toss 1. Go 8 at kid again.
Going to untap the Kid here.
Block or shotgun.
Attacks in. It's going to block.
Yes, there.
We have a mandatory untap trigger here there for the Kid.
Yep. Three in hand.
3 in hand.
4 cards in hand for Bobby. One's a Cat Viper, a Kid, Law, and something I cannot see. We're plotting that down here. A little bit of a framed away there. Love that.
Go 2. I'll play Nebu Rishi.
2 men are going to tap on the Shachi.
I'll swing 8k at
2 down going to crack in for 8 here.
8 at least.
8 at leader.
There you go.
Blocks for Kid.
7, 8.
Combos to protect it.
Oh, sorry, 7, 9. My bad.
Yep.
Now Basil untaps here. It will get tapped back down due to an incorrect
7
ruling.
leader.
There's a little bit of miscommunication on the ruling that I had
Yep, he
received.
blocked it.
In regards to Basil, Basil does untap if it gets blocked. It is not on attack declaration, it is on resolution of the attack, and it has in fact battled a blocker. So,
Okay.
the Basil gets tapped down. That
You
is
want to still attack?
unfortunately not correct.
I don't think no.
Yeah, do your thing.
Yeah, I'll attack on leader 7.
Take me for 7. I'm gonna play Paradise. Okay, one of your opponent's rested characters. The cost it's 4 left.
Attack them for 8,
Alright.
and then going to
3,
untap,
7.
swinging for 8,
I'll track.
make his at 0,
Yep.
Good game.
and that is going to be the game going to Bobby.
That's 4.
Thank you for watching, folks, and have a great rest of your day.